All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on back to the Cinema Lords podcast. This is going to be our House of the Dragon Episode 5 recap. I am joined again by our aficionado of all things Westeros, Mr. Lukey Kleinen. Luke, what's going on, baby?
Doing well once again, baby. Glad to be back. I did catch your episode last week with your own little small council.
Yep.
I think it came out really well. You guys figured out how to coordinate everything pretty quickly. Found your roles and pulled together. I think you'd be a good king.
Nice. I'm glad you liked it. I thought it went well. It was definitely a bit different just because it's not even so many people. It's also that you're not in person. It's like all online, so there's like a little bit of a delay everywhere. You know what I mean? And it's like there's more of like a talk over when you're not in person. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit tougher to hear everybody and shit.
Yeah, but it's worth it to be able to pull all those people together just like that. And hopefully those guys come back on and you get some other people in the mix too. And
yeah, no, I had a good time for sure. Good I think next week, episode 6. I'm going to be doing kind of the same thing. I'm going to try to find 2 or 3 people.
Nice.
Do the same thing. And then the last 2 episodes, 7 and 8, I figured to do with you. Probably going to try to get Seth in here because we haven't really heard from him.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I want to just do like a whole season 2 review too. So I'm going to figure out all that.
Hopefully we're happy with where it ends up.
Yeah, let's hope so. This season's been a roller coaster for me. It's been there's been a couple of ups and then a few downs, and it's been a ride. As always, thanks to Kirk Minahan for letting the episode of the podcast go up on the network. Appreciate it. All the eyeballs, the better.
Thank you, Kirk.
Thank you, Kirk. So episode 5, titled Regent, which is a word that we've heard before, especially I feel like in Thrones. But this episode was basically, for the most part, just dealing with what comes after the Battle of
Rook's Rest.
Rook's Rest. There you go.
Yep.
But like basically on both sides, you got the fallout of Aegon being injured, and then you got the fallout of Rhaenys dying. So that's, I feel like, kind of the main theme of this entire episode. Before we start getting into things, me and Luke actually just mentioned it before we started, but the intro. We talked about the intro. Actually, I think you said, I think in the after the first episode, I think you said, I wonder if it's going to keep like adding to the story.
Right, I was hoping.
And that's exactly what it's doing.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you would notice they added a couple things. They added some of Jaehaerys with his head kind of chopped and bleeding, and then the rat catchers also.
Which they even did that cool. Like first they just had him like lying in a cute little funeral bed, and then they like circle outline, and he just like loses his head. It's like, ooh,
right, and then the blood just keeps going to the next scene. Like down from there. Yeah, really cool.
That's a little reminder.
Right, but if you remember too, there was like a 1 episode delay from when it happened to when it actually showed up in the tapestry. It didn't.
So this was the first week I noticed that at all.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just hadn't been paying attention, I guess. But this was the first week I was like, oh shit.
Okay. Yeah. So they are updating it, but it took one extra day, 1 extra week or episode.
Yeah, everything's like 1 week behind.
Right, and so
which makes sense.
We didn't get any update from Rook's Rest, which you would assume is going to go on that tapestry too.
Right.
It's like a crazy thing where the king's basically dead and
some dragon shit.
Right, but it's also didn't come up in this intro today, but I think it's because it's waiting for the history to be recorded. You know, in this episode we see the news coming back to King's Landing, and it's kind of being how it's like the recording of history, the tapestry. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if it is kind of twisted a little bit. Like maybe on the tapestry it will be Aegon that kills Rhaenys, because that's the official story they're running with.
That's interesting. That's a good call. Yeah. See how they frame it.
Right. So if it's actually recording history, or if it's like whoever's writing it, makes the tapestry.
I bet you they almost have like Aemond and his dragon like Vhagar like real close, and then you just see like them like smaller in the distance. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking fire going at them.
Yeah. There's no need to change the story because it was so badass. But I'd be curious to see if the truth gets twisted because of how it's told to the common people. And people in charge.
Before we actually start, can you just hand me that pen that's in that cup? Because my fucking ADD.
This one?
Yep, there you go.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, if I'm not twiddling with something, it's like, I was like thinking like Ricky Bobby. I was like, what do I do with my hand? I was like, if I put him here, exactly. Like I'm a news anchor. Like, all right. So we open up literally with the morning of Rhaenys. We see Lord Corlys at Driftmark, which right away I noticed. We saw it real quick in the first season, but I didn't really take note of it. That throne, I think it's called the Saltwood Throne.
Driftwood Throne, I think.
Driftwood Throne?
Yeah.
That thing's fucking awesome.
It is really cool.
That thing's a really cool fucking seat.
Yeah, and that whole hall is cool. I'm going to call it the Hall of Nine.
Yes, that's right.
And, yeah, and even the whole castle is cool too, which he actually built with all his wealth he got from going to Valyria and stuff in the books.
Okay.
All his like crazy trips to, or maybe not to Valyria, but all of the farthest places, getting treasures from from the far west. And
yeah, because he even actually references
it's called
that
High
not
Tide
in this scene, but later on he references just going west again.
Right.
She's like, wouldn't it be the first time you did that shit?
Right. And how did that go for you last time?
Yeah, we're gonna get to a lot of that, but Bayla's quickly rising up the ranks, man. She's fucking awesome.
Yeah, she killed it in this episode.
Good episode for her.
Yeah.
Good episode for Jace too.
Yeah.
Good episode for Jace.
I agree.
Then we see Rhaenyra. She's sad too on Dragonstone.
Yeah.
Then we go to the first big scene of the show, which right away when we saw it in the trailer last week, we have Cole's arrival back at King's Landing. And in the trailer, they showed this scene for, last week they showed it in the trailer. And it's like, I feel like you have to be really dumb to think that this is going to, go over well because, A, the dragon is your sigil. It's on your banner. So probably show a little bit of respect to it and not be fucking dragging it through the streets.
Very good point, yeah. And
then you also have to imagine that, every time you see these things over King's Landing, all, the folk are just like, oh, shit. That's so cool, and now you're just
see them as gods.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're killing a fucking unicorn. You know what I mean? It's fucked up. So I was right about that. The fucking small folk were not about that shit at all.
Yeah,
Cole still didn't get it. Yeah,
it was shocking to them, and I feel like they also realized that nuclear war is on. Their version of nuclear war. Some terrible stuff just happened, and these undefeatable creatures are killing each other.
Yeah,
and it's coming here next.
That was actually kind of actually we see Hugh Hammer again in this fucking scene.
Yeah,
he comes through. He's with some kid who said basically they looked at like gods, and then he retorts it completely the opposite. He goes, "They're just meat," or some shit like that.
Right. I know. I was confused by that. Meat came up a lot in this episode.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just to prove they can be killed. They're just like anything else. Fucking just like a fucking whatever, a calf, a sheep, a fucking lamb, whatever the fuck. It's just meat.
Right. And they're also fucking hungry and wanting meat. That's all. Everything relates back to that.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even think of that.
Can't stop thinking about it.
Because that second scene that he has is same thing. They're looking for food.
Yeah. Everything you see, that reminds me of food.
Huh. Yeah, no, that's a good point. We see Aemon and Alicent. They're fucking overlooking the whole scene.
Yeah.
And I already mentioned, I always like to keep my eye on the fucking cat's paw dagger at all times just because I'm a big fan of that time shit and the three-eyed raven concept.
Yep.
So I always like to see what that thing is. And Aemon's wearing it. He's rocking that thing on his hip already. Hasn't been named anything yet, but I guess brother can't wear it. Why not me?
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Oh, yeah.
Has he had it for a little while, or did he take it off of Aegon?
He got it off of Aegon, at the fucking bottom. That's what
Where he
when
crashed.
Cole says, where's Aegon, he points to him with the cat's paw.
Yeah, I guess I missed that. I saw the cat's paw dagger, but I didn't realize that he took it off him. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm fucking, like I said, I'm always looking for that thing.
Yeah.
Very intriguing to me.
Yep, so.
But yeah, Aemon's wearing it on his hip. And Alicent notices it. Alicent, looks down, and she's just, that was almost the first sign, I think, for her. It'll be like, all right, this is not.
Yeah.
Things not go the way I want them to.
They still can't talk to each other, though. They still,
No, honestly, every chance she gets, there's a lot of that, actually, in the show. Every time Cole gets an opportunity, he calls Rhaenyra a huge fucking slut. Anytime Alicent gets the chance, she kind of just calls Aemon a scumbag.
Yeah, she's really rough on him, for sure.
She really is.
When he's, her only hope. And, even though he's, psycho and, very Daemon-like, I feel like he's maybe more savable. He could still be,
I'm not gonna
someone
lie.
who does some good stuff.
I don't think Aemon's that crazy. The thing with fucking Lucerys was not I don't think he was trying to kill Lucerys.
Right.
I think he was fucking trying to get some revenge for being a child because he was getting bullied by him even though he was young as shit.
Yeah.
There was that scene towards the end where the pig gets served at the dinner table and he's fucking snickering at him too. They happened to be in the same place at the same time with no restrictions. I don't think he was trying to eat his fucking cousin. And his reaction said that same thing.
Right. No,
but then
definitely.
aside from that, what has he done?
Yeah, I mean, he did some bad stuff at Rook's Rest, I guess. But yeah, he's never killed someone in combat or anything other
Not
than
even
with his dragon.
The way she talks about him, to me, it feels like he does the shit that Aegon does. Aegon raped a girl. He was coming on the fucking people. He's That's the kind of shit that I feel like she treats him like he's been doing, and he's just like,
Yeah, I'm with you.
he's been living up to like the family name. He's been like honor, all that shit. He got trained. He's fucking the best sword there. It's not like he's doing like bad shit. So I don't get why she fucking.
I feel like most of it comes back to the Lucerys thing.
I guess
because he's just owning it so much that that's what she believes too. And
I guess.
Yeah, it seems like after that, she's like cut off all communication with him. But
it
wasn't going well before that either. So
she had like a couple times she like mentioned the fact that like there was no like vengeance basically for him losing his eye as a kid and stuff like that. It's just like, all right, which side is it now? One thing, and it's not a questionable thing. It was really bad, but like I said, I don't think it was his intention.
Right.
And now she's just completely like fucking.
Right, when she pulled a knife on Rhaenyra to try to fight about the same thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Fucking weird.
It's all madness.
We see Aegon's body arrived at King's Landing. It's in a cute little like fucking private hearse, basically.
Yeah.
And this was cool.
Comes back in a box.
I'm all into this shit. We see him. He's got fucking bones snapping back into place.
You're into that shit.
He's fucking the scene with soaring through to get his armor off. I was like, oh shit! It reminded me of the Jorah scene. With Tarly there with the fucking dragon, the grayscale.
Yeah.
Similar kind of like
peeling off, all pussy and like.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That scene was definitely worse than this one, but.
Yep,
like,
it was nasty.
Yeah, it was literally like burnt right onto his flesh.
Because it was that Valyrian steel armor, so that's the only armor that wouldn't have melted in that case, but it did heat up like crazy and just like.
It's a good call.
Cooked them.
Yeah. Like Aegon the Conqueror, the whole. Yeah. All right.
Yep. You can see some of the
Conqueror's armor, so the whole thing. All right. I got
some of his like chainmail was messed up. Some of it seemed kind of melty, and a lot of it was like ripped and stuff. But all the plate was just attached to him, attached to his skin rather than melted.
It was gnarly.
Yeah.
It was a gnarly visual.
Yeah.
This show has done a lot of like good. I feel like gnarly visualization.
Yep, they are not shying away.
No,
from blowjobs to medical stuff.
Yep. I was gonna say that actually wasn't so much visual; it was more hearing. But the soaring off Jaehaerys's head was that was gnarly, man. Yeah. And to start the season out that way, that was wild.
They could have made it worse. Obviously, they still held back in a sense, but it was still gruesome and brutal for sure.
Yeah. Also, Aemon wastes no time. The same thing. We see Alicent notice the dagger, but he also wastes no time just being like right away, just like, we're going to have to name a regent. Mm-hmm. Someone's going to have to step up and do this.
Right. And then she still doesn't say anything to him there either, right?
Yep. I think that was pretty much all I had from the beginning there. Oh, actually, you know what else, too, is Alicent asked Cole about what happened. And fucking Cole, like...
Yeah, this whole PTSD moment.
Not even so much the PTSD, but the fact that he was covering for Aemond, I feel like was fucking... You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, but he also gave credit to he also gave credit to Aegon, right? For
he said Aegon fought valiantly, and then she was like, "Well, what of Aemond?" And he was just like, no
comment.
Exactly. Yeah, just here so I won't get fined.
Yeah, about that action, boss.
Yeah." But we already saw them doing some planning. Actually, that was the first episode too. Him and Aemond directly in the late hours, they were planning shit. Yep. And obviously, Aemond was in on the Rook's Rest fucking attack too. So they've obviously been working hand in hand.
For sure.
The scene you're talking about is coming up with Alicent, because that is something I noted down too. Dragonstone, Black's Council still sucks ass. But here's that part's the same, which I think is useless to keep on showing. But the part to me that stands out more is that Rhaenyra is still like all headstrong on like being the one to go into battle.
Right. She just doesn't know what to do other than that. She knows that's the only real rightest thing to do, like that noblest thing to do in her position. But
sure.
But they aren't letting her. Obviously, Jace doesn't want her to do it either.
No, it makes no sense.
Yeah, and
makes no sense. We just saw what happened to Aegon.
Not getting good advice from anybody. They're telling her to just do nothing, just like everybody told Aegon to do.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how she reacts if she
just fucking chill, just give your orders and fucking. That's what you're supposed to do, though.
Yeah. They're like, "What do you want?" She's like, "What do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
And they all just like.
If you're taking the flight, it should be for drastic action. Yeah. Like if things are going really, really bad, or if like somehow Dragonstone gets attacked and everybody else is out and shit. Right. But like again, we're gonna talk about it in a little bit. But she like clearly has not been trained. Like she's not a fucking soldier. You know what I mean?
Right. She's probably a good flyer, but her dragon isn't that impressive compared to theirs. They're pretty outmatched without Daemon.
Yeah.
and without any real
Special with
organized armies yet.
unclaimed dragons. No one.
They just have a couple scattered.
Yep.
Like the Veil kind of has
All these
their
people
side.
keep
Like,
fucking bending the knee, quote unquote, but no one said there's no men.
yeah,
there's
I
no
haven't seen
at
any
all.
army.
No
or
shit.
Even like campfire or anything. Yeah. I guess Harrenhal had a couple people filling up, but
Yeah.
I don't even know. That might have still just been the carpenters that they had trying to get it ready for that real host. But
Same thing though. Well, kind of like I said, idiotic. Rhaenyra is kind of going. Her stock's going down a little bit with me. I feel like she just.
yeah, running out of patience.
She was so overly patient before making a move into war, like too patient. Like it was dragging on. She did the 2 looks that we already talked about at the end of the first season, and during the first episode, she did those 2 like I'm done fucking around looks, like I'm ready to go. And she still dragged her feet. And now that she's ready to go, she's like, all right, I'm going to fucking go in there myself. I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to fucking do that. It's just like, bro, like, you're either this way or that way. You got to find a fucking middle ground and figure it out a little bit. You're going crazy.
Right. You need to be our leader, our North Pole.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. Which I guess was probably good to have Rhaenys around. I feel like she was kind of in that middle ground. A good a voice of wisdom.
Right.
We also see Jace kind of same thing. He's going stir crazy as well. Rhaenyra won't let him go out and do anything. So at first he says he's talking to Baela, who's a character we're going to see a lot in this episode. But he's talking to him and her, and he's like going to go talk to Daemon, which is like, it's about time someone's going to go do this. It probably should have already happened. Right. And then on second thought, he decides to go meet with the fucking family that sucks, the Freys.
Right.
Fuck those
we know them well. They,
bastards, yeah. So
never
going to go to the twins and meet with the Freys.
Yeah, not many redeeming qualities for those guys. They seemed a little chiller this time, maybe, but
the lady was cool.
Yeah,
she was a little bit of a gangster.
Yeah,
but it's a good. We were just saying we need an army, and we know the Northerners are coming down. If it's just 2,000 old guys, it's still coming down. Right. And we're going to secure the twins, which was something that was brought up a lot in Game of Thrones.
I know,
a few different times.
Would somebody please build a bridge other than these Freys?
No kidding.
You know, like these guys have way too much power just because nobody else wants to build a bridge.
For real. And we got a good view of it this week. It's very narrow.
Very
narrow.
But long and tall.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you can only fit, if you have, like, a big army.
Right.
You're
I think
going,
that's
like,
part of the point.
Three guys aside, like, 3-man rows.
Right.
So you're going to fucking take all day doing that shit.
Yeah. I think that's part of the point in the book.
Yeah, very hard to.
George goes into, like, some of the defenses they have, like, all the towers and, like, I don't know, like trapdoors and stuff on the bridge, and so it's made to be a defense.
Yeah. So that's initially why Robb Stark pledges to marry one of the Frey girls, is to have open gates of the twins.
Right, because they needed to get their 20,000 guys down south to King's Landing. Yep. Somebody else needs to build a bridge. This was 170 years before the Robb Stark incident.
Oh, that's a good call.
It was an issue then.
Nobody fucking. That's a good call. You would think the fucking Lannisters would come in and do something about that. They got all the money to spend.
I know.
Which it seems even then they still have all the money to spend in the world, it seems like. They get really overlooked in this show, which is sad.
Yep. And a thing to note there, too, is in the books, in the show, they say that Casterly Rock is out of gold.
For now? Like in House of the Dragon?
No, in Game of Thrones.
Oh, all right. I was going to say, I was like, holy shit. No. They've been struggling for a grip,
No, I assume they have it now, but...
I got you. All right,
but in the books, that's not true. Actually, they literally have, like, infinite gold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I was going to say, Kywin said that the mines ran out. I think it was like 10 years ago or some shit.
Yeah, that's a show-only thing.
Okay.
In the books they're literally on the biggest gold mine in the world. George R.R. Martin said that's the biggest gold mine in all of...
I got you. San Francisco fucking...
Yep, exactly.
Was that 1940 something?
1849, I think.
There it is, 1849.
49ers.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. My fucking history years are probably better in this fucking...
That one had a good football crossover.
From there, we go to a scene that I liked a lot. Even if it was very, very quick, it just made me laugh, and it is exactly why I love Daemon.
Yeah.
He is trying to raise his army. We already have the Brackens to our side. Oh, no, we already have the Blackwoods to our side. I'm sorry. And we're threatening to burn the Bracken army. And they just look at him and they're like, all right, so we're going to burn. And then it jump skips to him just sitting there with his fucking hands on his knees. Just like,
yeah,
I can't believe they called my bluff.
Right.
They were just ready to die. I was like, I can't believe it.
It makes no sense. But I kind of like them.
Yeah. Respect.
You know what?
I need those guys.
Right.
I just felt like that was such a Daemon thing. I just felt like fucking completely perplexed.
Yeah, he was so swaggered, like felt like he couldn't be touched when he was on his dragon there, and like
Yeah, he's always felt like that.
went took the threat all the way to the edge, and like had his dragon like feet from the guy's back, but wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Called his bluff. And
yeah. The Targaryen banner and the dragon doesn't hold the same weight as it normally does across the world, clearly, as it does right now in the fucking Riverlands.
Right. Yeah, the Brackens are getting some good press in this show. They usually are the lesser of the two houses in the books. Like Blackwoods do a lot of good stuff. Brackens are kind of the assholes usually, but
Okay, so definitely the weaker of two names.
yes,
That's for sure.
Right.
Blackwoods is pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's a good
like,
name.
yeah, like 95% of like readers side with the Blackwoods just because they're way cooler in every way and they do good stuff. But I feel like the Brackens can be sympathized with, and you can kind of respect a scene like this where the guy's not backing down. He's like, give me
Oh, it was awesome.
give me Ash and Cinders or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lord of Ash and Cinders or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Like, badass.
It was very
And
cool.
then just walks away.
Like I said, that was a good scene for Damon, even if it was very quick. That's been outside because all we've seen the last couple of weeks is the visions and all of that shit.
Right.
So this was a nice little
He's
break
been a
from
little
that.
lost.
Just a bit. Yeah, for real. This was nice to get a little something separate.
Yeah.
But I thought that was very, very funny. We go to Rhaena at the Eyrie, which was real quick. She doesn't take any shit though. I like that, which we see from Bela too. So there's something they're just fiery. Those two.
Yeah.
They got Damon. They got some Damon in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're a good combo. Lena was kind of a badass too.
No, she was badass for
Yeah.
sure. I don't think she was
Not as fiery.
like yeah. Like maybe as mouthy, I guess.
Right.
She seemed a little bit more like cool, calm, kind of like Rhaenys, which obviously it's her mom, but you
Right.
know what I mean. She was a gangster because she surely was. She was a little bit more like cool, level-headed, not so much like ready to fly off the handle.
Right. I agree. A good combo of some
Yes.
Damon qualities with her qualities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I thought that was kind of cool. We just see her not taking any shit. And then I also liked how she still, even though we saw her get the eggs and stuff and she felt a little bit better, she still is like pissed off about seeing off to the edge of the world.
Yep.
And then she's told like a complete asshole that her fucking grandma just died, which sucks.
Yeah. Was that her getting the news broken to her?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because she was just like, really? And then she was like very affected by it. I was just
yeah.
like, what a douche.
I know. That's rough.
That was.
It's a power move.
Yeah, bitching and complaining because you got two dragons this small. Like, all right, you're all the fucking way up here in an impregnable fortress. Like, I think you'll be all right.
Right.
By the time they're grown, they'll be ready to go.
Right. And none of our dragons can stop Vagar anyway. So like,
That's very true.
it's not really an issue.
That's very, very true. Let's see. Right now we're in the
I
White
thought Jane
World.
Eyre.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, go.
I just thought Jane Eyre was pretty cool too.
Really, the Lady Aaron?
Yeah, I don't know. Just a little bit of background from that I know about her is that she's like another one of the strong women characters, you know, like Rhaenys and like Rhaenyra is trying to be. She's been the leader of the Eyrie for like 25, 30 years. Keeps kind of denying all her suitors, and
She's not playing regent to anybody?
nope, she's the
Lady of the Vale.
Lady of the Vale, yeah. So she was obviously kind of an asshole the way she was like delivering the news to Rhaena there and all that.
She was.
But that's just kind of how she is and how she probably keeps her power. Is she's kind of a dick sometimes, but also knows how to flex what she's got going for her.
Speaking of Rhaena, they're not going to mention it. I think it's at the end of the episode, but apparently she's tried to claim a dragon a few times, and it's not.
Yeah, I wonder which one she tried to claim. That's not in the books.
Me too.
Yeah. There's only a few to choose from, right?
I think that's something that could change. Or like now that you say that, I don't know that, but I feel like that's something that could change.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Just because they've been focusing on her a little bit more the last like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Getting a little bit of screen time.
Right.
And it's like if we're really sending her off, it's like, do we like if we were just really sending her off to play mommy, and like that's kind of going to be her role. I don't think they even need to put this scene in this episode of the show.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Just let her be written off the show basically and do
Basically, yeah.
like hide the kids and hide the eggs and
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Yeah, there's only she'd have to leave to go back to Dragonstone, or she would have to have one of those eggs hatch. But
I think
not a ton of time for an egg to grow into a big one at least.
obviously we see how the episode like ends with the we're gonna be looking for dragon riders, but I think if she sees that like they're putting out an open call, she's gonna be like, yo, what the fuck. Like,
Yeah, no,
I
that's a
want
good
another go.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
I like that. Yeah.
So maybe. Oh no, because that one's definitely going to what's his name, Alan. I was just gonna say maybe what's it, her uncle, Laenor would be her uncle.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe Laenor's dragon.
Yep. Sea
Out
Smoke.
on yeah, which is also out on Driftmark, and Lord Corlys is already kind of fucking giving some shit about her being whatever you want to call it, the lady of Driftmark, because she like has no knowledge of the sea or any shit like that.
Right.
So that would have been cool, but I think that's going to Alan, so I don't think that's going to work out storytelling wise.
Yeah, it could
that
be one of
would've
the
been cool.
could be one of the wild ones. There's one wild one that in the book does get claimed by someone that's not even in the show. Right now.
Okay.
That's like completely written out of the show.
Is it one of the dragons that's on the show though?
It's one of the wild dragons. So we haven't seen any wild dragons yet on the show.
Okay. I want that cannibal one.
But yeah, one of the wild dragons is written by someone that seems to have been written out of the show.
Okay. So then there's a scene. There
So
we go.
that
There's
could-
an opening.
Unless they bring that character back, but seems like she's not going to be in it.
Okay. So then you know what? They just send Rhaena to Dragonstone, and then boom, she just gets one there.
Does
But
some
my idea
badassery.
was good before. The
No,
Alan thing.
I think just her being pissed off and being like, nope, I'm going, and I'm gonna. If I can't have one of these two that we already have captive, I'm gonna go get one of the other ones that nobody's ever ridden before. Be an even bigger badass. Because I think Cannibal is like the biggest one. It's like almost as big as Vagar.
No
It's
shit.
humongous. Yeah.
It's a fucking awesome.
And the other one, Vermithor, that's in Dragonstone,
It's
is
very
almost,
big.
almost as
Yeah,
big
yeah,
as
yeah.
Vagar too. It's humongous.
Very big. Chase talks about it actually.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool if we're gonna give Rhaena a little bit of a bigger character. I feel like she could do like if she like wins over Corlys, kind of earns some respect, becomes fucking. That's the thing though. Is like I don't know who's actually gonna survive this show and shit like that.
I know.
I feel like she is a person I could see like surviving this show. Like that would make sense to me. But also like that entire line is not not in Thrones, so
Right.
they have to die out in the next 170 years.
Right. Just plenty of time. Especially
As she's like the only lady and she's surviving. So
Yeah.
there you go, bing bang boom.
But it's a long war too, so even if you die in 4 years, you got time to do some good shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like her. I definitely like Bela. I'm all in on Bela. Let's see. We go to Rhaenyra and the White Worm. This was a cool little scene, I thought. She actually is kind of playing almost kind of the role that Rhaenys has kind of played, just someone else to talk to and bounce ideas off of, especially with Daemon gone too. It's like she's running out of people. Like her council sucks.
Yeah.
And Jace is kind of too young. So with Bela, kind of the same thing. So it's like she needs someone of a little bit more wisdom, I feel like, and that's the White Worm.
Yeah.
But kind of like we expressed earlier, she was never trained to be a soldier. She was never trained in strategies of war. Daemon's gone, so all that shit she doesn't know how to do. So kind of like what you said, it's just like I'm gonna get on my dragon and go fly and fight myself because I don't know what else to fucking do.
Right. Right. And she's like, yeah, this path has never been trodden before. Like she's tried.
This is true.
She's been pouring through the books, trying to read about whoever.
Oh
and,
yes,
like,
yes,
like,
that's right.
Who has done this before? All these like it comes up later. She was looking at Visenya, who was one of the strong women.
I think
from
she was looking
the
at
Conquest.
See, I was looking at she was looking at the Vagar.
Oh yeah.
See, that's how I took it because obviously he's the big guy threat right now.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
good.
was his
She was
first
the
rider,
first
is Visenya.
That's a good idea
Just
too.
fucking buried in the fire and blood. Just got through that first part. Dude, just got through the conquest.
Yeah.
She seems like a bad bitch. She's
She's
using the
kinda
same
bad.
sword as fucking Daemon too.
Yeah,
Dark Sister. Yeah.
Yep.
She seems cool.
Very cool. But she's also kind of has some evil tendencies. I don't know if how far past you are.
I mean, if you don't have evil tendencies in the show, aside from Robb Stark, I ain't riding with you.
Well, her son is Maegor the Cruel, who's the worst,
Like the worst.
Targaryen king of all time.
Yeah. His reign was short, right?
I don't think so. I think
No?
it took, I mean, not. I mean, it was.
Was it fairly
Not,
long?
I was just saying, not like a couple years. It was at least 5 or 10 or something.
Okay.
But
See, I was thinking like 1 or 2. I thought it was quick.
Yeah. I could be wrong
haven't
too.
Gotten there. Haven't gotten there.
Yep.
Working my way through.
All right. We'll leave that though.
I'm working my way through the book. I'm hoping to get through. I mean, I'm not hoping. I'll get through it by the time season 3 gets around. Let's see. So this was actually good, which I think is going to be something that kind of comes up. We see right at the beginning with Cole when he comes in, we see that the townsfolk, they're kind of pissed off about the Dragon of Melee's head through the streets. And the White Worm's like, yo, like, Cole fucked up. She knows it right away. She heard about it and she was like, Cole fucked up. This is a really bad idea. And Rhaenyra doesn't understand how important that many people can be.
Right.
It's like even if they're not trained soldiers and they're not armed to the teeth, there's so many more of them. They'll just flood like fucking rats. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They can just flood whatever it may be, an army, a fucking castle, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the White Worm knows that. That's kind of the game that she's played, manipulating the small folk, gathering them. She's like, all right, like this is something we can do that'll actually really work out in our cause, and I can help.
Yeah, and she knows tensions are building in King's Landing. Like everybody's getting fucking pissed, and they don't even. Aemon hasn't even closed the gates at this point yet, right? That's
Not yet.
In a couple scenes, so
Yeah.
and that's about to make it even worse. It's kind of all lining up perfectly that they
Exactly.
are. Seems like doing some propaganda right at the perfect time.
Yeah, no, propaganda definitely is already been a pretty big part of this story.
Which is still playing dirty, but it's playing dirty that Rhaenyra is okay with, but she still doesn't want to know about it. She doesn't want to know the details. It's
There's
weird.
a lot of that.
Yeah, I know, and so that's what Daemon was doing with Blackwood too, right?
Exactly.
Told
Yeah,
him to go
he
do some
hinted
more.
at it. Yep.
Yeah. And he said not to some things that we can't be seen doing.
Right. And honestly, he
Fucking
kind of
flies
almost even in a way did it with in the first episode, like with just like the what if we can't find him? It's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do
Right.
whatever you fucking think is right.
Yeah. Right. And he got burned for that.
Yep.
And he got burned again for the Blackwood thing because they ended up flying his banners, and now it looks like he
that
did.
was very interesting.
Yeah. So
Fucking
it's not going well for him when he's not clear on his instructions.
for real.
Yeah.
That's very conscious though.
Yeah.
He's playing it well. So yeah, we're gonna try to win over the small folk, King's Landing. We see Rhaenyra consoling Baela, which is a nice little scene, talking about Rhaenys and shit like that. But the more important part is that she gives Lord Carlos a box for Baela to bring to him, which
To Grandpa Corliss.
I didn't know what it was at the time. Obviously, you just see the box; it's about yay big. Mm-hmm. I gotta be honest, the hand of the Queen badge was not something that went through my head, but I guess it probably should have been. That's probably stupid on my part because there's only so many things it could have been, especially with how the conversation was going.
Yeah. It was weird though. It seemed like she was about to ask Baela for something, and then she's like,
Honestly,
Give
at
this to your-
first,
give
I
this
thought
to
she was
your-
giving something to Baela.
right. It was kind of weirdly timed.
Because she referred to like relying on her
know.
right now a lot.
Yeah, it was strange.
I saw something. Oh man, I looked at something online as far as just like the size of dragons and all that shit, and it's like it's got all of them. So it's got like Balerion at the top, and then it just works.
Yeah.
And then like fifth from the bottom is Moondancer, and I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
shit.
Yeah. It is smaller in the books though. It's bigger in the show.
It's smaller in the books.
Moondancer, yeah.
Oh my god, I feel like it was so small in the show.
It's not rideable at this point in the books. It's they said it's the size of like a horse.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yep.
I was just saying, because at least now you can fly it. It's fucking.
Yeah.
It's nimble.
She's eventually able to fly it in the war like she's doing now, but it's not flyable at this point.
Okay, that's good to know.
So they're upping her character too. They're trying to juice those two. I think they're two good actresses and
Yeah.
a cool role. And
No, the girl that plays
fits
Babe
a
is
lot of
fucking
themes.
awesome.
Yeah, fits a lot of themes of the show though. The sex roles kind of thing, gender
Yeah.
roles.
No, I like that. I like it. I now I think Bela's working her like Damon's obviously my favorite character. And then it was Rhaenyra, but Rhaenyra is just like she's plummeting. For me. I gotta be honest, I can't help it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We're needing some action. We need some payoff on all of her stewing.
I liked Rhaenys.
Yep.
She gone.
Yep, she's a top 5. Rhaenys is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was liking her.
There's not many to like on the greens at this point though.
I like Allison. Allison's
Yeah.
Allison's pretty cool.
Yeah,
she's smart. She knows what she's doing.
Yep.
She's like
The most fit to rule right now. She should be ruling.
Yeah, she's like the dollar store version of Cersei.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go to the Family Dollar, you get her. You know
Much
what I
less
mean?
evil, I think.
You're saving the money.
Accidentally evil, not intentionally evil.
Yeah, like I said, dollar store version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The very much knockoff. Like, let's just get it.
Temu.
Let's just get through.
Temu Cersei.
I would say Allison. Oh Man, it's tough, man. Honestly, especially just this season alone, like Aegon's won me over, but it's not that hard because this show is so tough. There's not that many people to like. Mm-hmm. There's really not.
Yeah, and Damon's just kind of pissing everybody off too. I don't think he's getting any more likable.
I'll tell you, the character I'm most interested in is this Alice Rivers bitch.
Me too.
I need more of this girl. I need to know more.
She's a huge mystery in the book. She's just a bunch of rumors about her, but nothing about what actually she does. So.
See, I like.
I'm loving it. I'm loving what they're doing.
I'm very interested in that. Actually, okay. So, like we just said, right now our hands Bela a little box to bring to Lord Corlys. Mm-hmm. But now let's get to the fucking wildness.
Yeah.
All right. We have Daemon tripping again at Harrenhal. And we have, without a doubt, by far and away, the wildest fucking shit. I ain't gonna lie. I've done a lot of podcasts at this point talking about Game of Thrones. I've had a lot of conversations outside of podcasts about Game of Thrones. And I'm like, yo, if you ain't about fucking incest on Game of Thrones, like, you're a fucking loser, dude.
It's true. Play the clip.
For real. Like, you're a fucking loser. You have a big dump in your pants. L7 weenie. I didn't think I had a line. I have a line. I found my line.
Yeah. It's too far.
It was too far. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I was like, this is really happening?
At least it was accidental. Accidental fantasy or nightmare.
Oh, man. We see Daemon. He's having a conversation, I guess. Not really. His mom's really just talking to him. But they're both, like, naked. And at first, they're just, like, holding one another. She's like, you're the best. You're strong.
Hyping him up.
Hyping him up.
Yeah, hype man.
Then they're, like, caressing each other sexually. Then they're kissing. And then next thing you know, ladies and gentlemen, we have Daemon Targaryen eating out his own mother on screen in a vision. And it is the wildest fucking thing I have ever seen in my entire life.
Only on the rewatch do you know that she's his mom, but so it makes it a little bit better, I guess.
When I was watching it the first time, bro, I was like, no,
who is this
like
Targaryen?
No. I was like, that can't be it. I was like, that kind of looks like Viserys' wife. I was like, it's got to be something like a sister.
Yeah.
Because that would have been better.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Anything but this, man. Like, come on. You came out of there. That's fucked up. You can't go back. That's fucked up.
One thing to make it slightly better is that she died when he was like 2 or 3. So he doesn't remember her or what she looks like.
We're going to get, like, actually, no, I think it's very quickly we're going to get there. But that fucking threw me through a fucking loop.
Yeah.
Because right away, the way he reacted, I was like, okay, either she died young or, like, it wasn't the mom you think it was or some kind of shit like that.
Right.
What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows if it's her spirit entering his dreams kind of thing, or like, because it is Harrenhal and she's getting all kinds of manipulated, or if it's just this weird version that he imagined his mom to look like. I don't know.
A lot of people online especially have been complaining about the Daemon storyline with, like, his visions and, like, let's get Daemon out of there. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't want Daemon out of there because the Daemon visions at Harrenhal are awesome. I was just like, but somebody needs to get the fucking Harrenhal.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, this guy is, like, basically right now, like, the strongest guy in the fucking Seven Kingdoms, aside from maybe Aemon, but, like,
right, Aemon has the biggest dragon.
If push comes to shove, how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Which we saw that in the trailer. Was that we saw it in, like, the trailer for the actual season, and then we saw it in the trailer for next week. Aemon's gonna be like, I'd be happy to meet my uncle on the battlefield if he's gonna face me. So it's like, bitch, bro, you better find out.
Yeah. I know. I feel like Aemon has not actually killed anyone in combat before. You know, like he's burned his own brother and stuff, and his dragon accidentally ate Luke. But
yeah, and then it obviously finished off Bailey's.
Yep. So. Yeah, but again, it's all indirect. Whereas Daemon, like, killed his wife and stuff. You know?
Yeah. I want to see
a little more brutal.
It's so tough. Like, obviously, it's, you know, it's the House of Dragons, it's the Dance of Dragons, yada yada yada. But it's like we do have these characters where, in some way, somehow, it's like I do want to see, like, Daemon, like, fight Aemon.
Yes.
Even if their dragons also fight, I want it to eventually somehow get to the ground. Whether the ground happens first and then there's dragons, or there's dragons and then there's a ground fight. Like, I want to see an actual fight. I'd also, same thing with, like, Cole. Like, I feel like Cole's such a hateable guy, and I feel like unless it's done really, really well, like Death by Fire, I feel like is almost tough to pull off. You know what I mean? Because there's no like
Too easy.
Yeah, there's no like able to have like drama to it. Like there's no like that act of like, you know what I mean? Like when you stab somebody and they're like, they get their last words and they're looking you in the eye or however it goes, shit like that.
Yeah, no,
it's
you're
just so quick. It's just like, all right, boom, poof.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it'd be weird, say, to kill Christian Cole like that, unless it was like really well done.
Yeah, that's a good point. Need to give him his full screen time to
Like and all, yeah,
choke out some last words and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like to really. And I also feel like if you have like say like a sword fight and then a guy gets stabbed, that's more of like a moment where you're like, you know what I mean, than like a dragon just being like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
More,
maybe if he's like
suspense to it.
maybe if he's like trying to slay a dragon or something like that, and then at the end he gets torched or I don't know.
Some
shit
shit.
like that. That could be a good way to go. But
Yeah.
But
Like I said,
I want to see our best warriors in combat too. Like
For real.
sword to sword, Valyrian steel and Valyrian steel.
Exactly.
Yes, I
you can't
definitely
be
wanna see
calling
that.
all these swords names and shit without
Right.
fucking.
Do some deeds.
For real. We
Yep.
saw Aemon in the training gown with Cole, so like he's supposed to be like pretty badass. They say he's the best sword, so like let's fucking see it.
Yep. Seen Daemon use his
We have.
chopping Vaemon's head in half and
And he beat Cole. Like he just fucking rather than go and like finish and get like the I quit kind of thing, he was just like, you guys like this shit, huh? I'm
Yeah.
fucking kicking this dude's ass, eh? And then Cole's just like, you didn't make me quit. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, he had him beat, bro. He was on the ground. He was donezo.
Yeah.
He had him done. Damon just likes to show off, which that's a tournament. I mean, that's not the battlefield. If it was the battlefield, Damon would have fucking Cole had already been dead.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It'll be always be remembered as Cole beating him, but
Yeah, we've seen
those
that
who
shit.
saw it, well, they-
Yeah, for real. He had his awesome helmet on, which I have to imagine is like he actually no, we saw him wear it, but like it didn't have the full thing, so we just like took that part off, but it still had the dragon sides. That helmet's
Yeah.
sick.
that is dope.
That helmet's sick.
Do we know if that's Valyrian steel?
I would imagine it is, but I don't know. Especially now
so.
that you say Aegon's is.
Yes, I know Aegon's is because it's Aegon the Conqueror's, like you guys mentioned last week. But
Also, though,
I
if
think-
all of these things, like let's say it is Valyrian steel, wouldn't there like these things be like melted, reused, reforged, and wouldn't there be more in like Game of Thrones than there is because it's such like a rare finite,
yeah,
or a finite amount of material?
yeah.
word.
But I think the assumption is that nobody's finding any more. All of it that exists was already salvaged from Valyria, and nobody's able to go back to Valyria.
In Thrones or now you're saying?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
Valyria's
feel like
probably
they
in worse
flashed it
shape
more
back then.
in House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Well, because Dark Sister was lost because Bloodraven took it with him to the Wall. So that's where Dark Sister is in the books. It's with Bloodraven. What's the other one? What's the one that Aegon has?
Oh fuck! It's something corny. I can't think of it. Almost all of them are.
Not a big deal. I'll look it up next time. Yeah.
Dark Sister's good just because of like who it was. It was
Right.
Visenya and shit.
Right, and it's a smaller sword and stuff.
So we come out of the crazy ass vision, and we're talking to Sir Simon, my guy Sir Simon. I love this dude. But we had the repairs on Harrenhal. We find out that they're beginning. We find out though that we have no way to pay for it because the Clubfoot took all of the gold to King's Landing, which I thought was interesting because he thinks of everything. Left them with just a sprinkle of coin. But the more noticeable part was him saying, I thought that the queen would, when she arrived, would be able to help pay for these repairs and all that shit. And Damon right away just shuts down. He's like, no. Yeah. No radar. And he says, I'll guarantee the payment myself.
Yeah. Credit, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
He definitely doesn't have anything with it.
Right, no, as far as gold goes,
Yeah.
no.
Or he's just going to do the dragon thing again. Who knows?
Maybe. He could. He could definitely do that. I'm sure he could probably... I think they already said that they found like a couple of little bit like lesser houses. So maybe like some kind of shit there, you know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe the lesser houses are fucking goddamn blacksmiths or whatever. Wood masons.
Right.
Not wood masons. Stone masons.
Yeah.
Lumbermen.
Yeah. Men of trade. Unionized workers. Yeah.
Helping them fucking build up Harrenhal. Some kind of shit like that.
Yeah. The people we need more of now.
For real. We go to the Green Council. Aegon's injury is severe as shit. They say he's in a coma. We don't know if he'll ever even wake.
Yeah.
And Allison brings up the coin of we need a regent. We need someone to rule in Aegon's stay. She volunteers to do it herself, which is totally reasonable considering the fact that she already did the job for, over 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe,
at least doing half of it for a long time as Viserys was going down in health, but...
maybe not 10 years. But
yeah, if you think half of, like, since she got married, the second half would be 10-ish years. So I think that's a good guess. She's at least doing most of the stuff. Her dad was doing a lot of it, too.
I'm trying to think of, like, when it could have... Because, like, say... The dinner where he doesn't take the milk of the poppy or whatever.
Yeah.
The kids are like, say Aegon's like, it looks like he's like 13 or 14, something like that. And he's got like no face left and he's already been fucking deteriorating for a few years. So I don't think it's been 10. I think it's probably more like 5.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Weren't they all the full-grown characters when they had that dinner? Whether they make the joke about the pig that's on the table and stuff, they're all full grown.
You're right.
Yeah.
Never mind. Good call. You are right. Misremembered.
It's all good. But still 5 or 10 years. It's been a long time.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah. And then she's also been basically having to do it for Aegon too.
She's good experience on her resume.
Yeah. Yeah. Cole isn't doing much as a
Hand of the king.
Hand of the king.
Shit,
Yeah.
he ain't doing dick.
He barely was able to mumble out what he says here.
Yeah, it's good because she looks for like she asked the Maester last week if he thought that Aegon was actually what Viserys wanted, and he kind of dodged the question and got out of town.
Yeah.
But then this week he had no problem like speaking right up against. It seemed like he was able to notice that like everyone was kind of already against them, but he like still spoke up and was just on Allison's part.
Yeah. No, it's a good point.
I wonder if that's because like Maesters aren't necessarily like warfare, kind of knowledge, peace.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe in that one-on-one situation, he didn't want to tell her what she didn't want to hear. But I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's got to toe the line there. It's tough to be neutral, but luckily the Maesters are allowed to be like the only people that are neutral.
Yeah, that's true. She looks to the clubfoot for advice. He fucking doesn't help her at all. He's like Aemond.
Yep.
And then Cole gets asked what he thinks, and he also goes Aemond.
Yeah. Trust fall didn't work out, so that
sure didn't.
Be there then. Yeah.
So Allison is without allies. Aemon's gonna get regent. So now she's got no allies and she's got no power. And they do a great shot with this scene when they zoom in on her and you just hear all the noise kind of being background noise.
Yep.
She knows. She's like, all right, like Dad's not here. I have no control anymore. I have no control at all over Aemond.
Right. Yeah. And in the background you hear Aemond. Like he just grabs Aegon's like sphere off the table and just marches right over.
Those things are cool.
Yeah. And where like Aegon was always, playing with his sphere and like doing all this stuff.
Around. Yeah.
He just like puts it down and starts like laying out 10 orders in a row, and that's how the tone of the whole room shifts right away.
Big time.
And then it goes to her, that single shot of her for like 30 seconds. And just the bass going and
so he's asked right away, like instant. Oh, actually. Brings the rat catchers down. That's how he like ends it.
That was one good thing he said.
He did. Yeah. But he also just like right away starts asking about, numbers, fucking this, that, the other thing.
Yep. He's got an agenda.
He did. He was already assuming that this was going to go his way, and he fucking got it, and right away he was like, all right, let's get into work.
Yep. He is the like strongest person in the world, pretty much, with Vhagar.
Right. Yeah.
So what happens if you don't give it to him? Like you kind of have to respect
that's true.
MVP of the league kind of thing.
I like that. Yeah. That's a good point. We get a quick scene. Hugh Hammer still hasn't received payment from the king. His family's starving. We're going to see that they try to leave King's Landing, but the gates have been sealed, which is one of the things that Aemon does. Actually, in the last scene, as soon as he gets control as regent, he shuts down the gates to King's Landing. No one goes in or out without basically the okay.
Yep.
And Hugh Hammond tries to bounce out with his family after his wife chews him out, and the gates are sealed. So they're fucked. They got no money. They got no food. They're fucking just stuck in King's Landing.
Yeah.
And we keep seeing this guy, so we obviously know he's going to play a role. Like I said, I haven't read the book yet. I'm on the book, but I haven't even gotten close to this part. And I know the name Hugh Hammer, so I know he's going to play a role some point in the show.
Yep.
And I'm guessing it's probably going to align with the last scene where we're looking for any version of Targaryen blood to ride dragons.
He does have some white hair.
He does have white hair.
He would be someone to at least maybe try to get burned or, ride a dragon or die trying. We'll see.
Yeah. That'd be awesome if we
But
could. Actually,
you
that
had to
would be
sneak
awesome.
out or...
If we're following this guy just for him to get fucking lit up, I'm
I
going to
know.
be pissed, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of candidates that come to mind. You already mentioned a couple.
You got Alan. You got Adam.
Yeah.
Both names spelled like
The
assholes.
two potential, half Valerians.
This Hugh this Hugh Hammer guy.
I'm going to start calling you Hef now.
I can't.
That's funny.
And then we got the other guy that was Ulf.
Ulf the White.
Ulf, yeah.
Yep. Who says he's
And then Rhaena.
half brothers with, and Rhaena.
And then Rhaena.
Yep. But then they mention, there's some other people with, maybe
Yeah,
not,
of course.
even,
Married
second
out.
and third generation away, might be enough. They don't really know. Jace suggests, we don't have to jump ahead too much, but suggests that it could just be propaganda, that only Targaryens can do it.
Right.
It's like, so say our forefathers, who?
But it's even Rhaenys married, so Rhaenys was technically last name was Valerian, you know what I mean? Not
Right.
Targaryen. So it already happened, we already seen it basically.
Right. Argument would be that she was half, or her kids were half Targaryen.
Right.
Yeah.
Lena,
Yep.
same thing. Lena's Valerian.
That's what I'm a little confused about too. Is how are Corlys's bastard kids gonna fly dragons?
Well, we actually found out when you were the scene with Rhaenyra and Baela, when she's trying to console her and she gives her the Hand of the King badge to bring to Corlys. They talk about. She said, "Do you ever hear about the night that Rhaenys claimed Meleys?" Mm-hmm. And at the end of it, Baela goes, "Father was so furious because he had tried to claim Meleys a bunch of times." So there has to be some part of him, whether it's old blood from his own family, that he thought he could claim a dragon.
Her father is Daemon. Daemon tried to claim Meleys before he got Caraxes.
I'm an idiot.
It's wicked hard, dude. It's wicked hard.
There's a lot.
Corlys is her grandpa,
That's right.
and technically Daemon is her father. She is her father, but it's just weird that Daemon is smack in the middle of Corlys and them. It's a
because they were
weird
talking
combo.
about Rhaenys, and in my head I was thinking daughter.
Which is another still cool fact that
So he's fucking.
that Meleys turned down Daemon, and then
That
he
is cool.
settled for Caraxes.
See, settled's tough because Caraxes is so much better for him.
I know it fits well.
It does.
Meant to be.
And that dragon's awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking the fucking red worm.
Yeah.
Bloodworm.
Bloodworm.
We haven't seen much. I want him in action.
I know.
We saw it
That
very
was a really
little
cool
bit,
shot.
in the Stepstones or whatever.
Yeah. There was a really cool shot where I thought he was going to burn the Brackens today. That was a really, really well shot.
That was a very
but-
cool scene.
But not much action.
This is where Alicent confronts Cole, kind of questions his loyalty after what just happened at the council meeting. Yeah. And Cole's fucking shaken up. He's rattled. Homeboy was like, fucking, I did not know what I was getting myself into. I'm a soldier, I can lead men, but this is useless. We're not even, there's no point in us being out here. It's a battle of dragons at this point. So a dragon rider should fucking lead us, and Aemon's got the biggest dragon in the fucking world. So why would it not be him?
Yep.
I think the bigger thing, though, is that he fucking kind of suggested he's, sparing her. It's this shit's awful. I'm sparing you from making the choices. And it's that's a cop-out as fuck, bro.
I know. It sounds like she's getting swept under the rug like Aegon was, also. Just go be quiet and look pretty and say some prayers.
I like the way she said it at the top when she was, she basically said, you have no more loyalty left. You only have loyalty when we're fucking.
Yeah. Never again.
Yeah, for real. He even said, he calls her Alicent in the end. He goes, I didn't give you fucking permission to say my name, bitch.
Not a good sign. She's dried up.
We go to Jace and the twins. Good scene for Jace. We see the new phrase, which was actually kind of funny, actually, now that I think about it. The man, the lord of House Frey, is an idiot. Yeah. He's just sitting there. He's eating fucking chicken. He speaks for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the lady of House Frey takes over. And she was much... You could tell she was the woman that was actually in charge.
Yep.
Definitely not fucking the Queen of Thorns vibe, but similar. She was older.
Oh, very. Yeah. Yep, the guy likes to think he's just as important or more important and wears all the fancy stuff, but yeah.
Right.
She puts him in his place and
The Tully's
calls
is
all the
still. Oh,
shots.
shit. Sorry.
You good?
Yeah, no, for sure. She's the head honcho, even if she's not the face of the screen.
Yep.
We find out Lord Tully's still in still at the front of the Riverlands, just like he was in Game of Thrones. So that's been going on for a long time. But he hasn't pledged fealty to Rhaenyra. She says that the Lady Frey is really worried about Vhagar, which is where things get interesting. Jace guarantees not like protection from him, but then protection from Daemon, who they have absolutely no communication with at all right now.
Right.
And then also gives them Harrenhal as long as they bend the knee, which I assume this was already be bending the knee, but I guess not.
They just wanted to give up use of the bridge. That's what their opening offer was.
But like
you give us a dragon and we'll let you use our bridge.
I'm talking about the bend the knee part.
Yeah.
Like if you're agreeing to all of this already, like we're giving you protection.
You would think, but I think they thought that was their current offer on the table was, yeah, you can use our bridge for your army.
Yeah.
Which is all the marriage pact is about. Like the Freys do join Robb Stark's side.
They do.
But it's mostly just
useless
to use the
guys.
bridge.
True.
Yeah, that's the most important part, really.
No, I hear you.
Which is, again, stupid. Somebody needs to build one.
I just feel like Jace could have gotten a little bit more out of the deal. I think we could have gotten a little bit more.
Okay, I hear you on that.
You know what I mean?
Huh. Yeah, the show portrayed it as him, like, killing it on the negotiation, so maybe that's where I got tricked a little bit, but
yeah, like
I know what you mean.
He got the crossing, which was the main goal, but like that was legitimately it, and he gave up. I feel like, I mean, not he personally gave up,
right?
But like we're guaranteeing you guys protection between not just me but Daemon. So you got two not badass, but like his dragon's small. They actually talked about it, but obviously you got Caraxes and then whatever the name of his is, which is still a dragon. I mean, it's better than no dragon. So they're getting protection, and you're getting Harrenhal.
Yeah.
And all we're asking in return basically is you could just open your doors.
Well, now they're bending the knee.
Now they're bending the knee.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got their armies. I guess. Yeah. No, I guess you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're
that
right.
was what he upped it to at the end, but yeah, it could have been more than that.
You're right. No, you're right. We go back to Daemon. He's getting his hand dirty. He guaranteed payment. He's doing some of the payment himself. He's fucking building on the Harrenhal repairs himself.
Yeah.
Alice informs him that the Blackwoods basically have been taking children from children, wives, and shit like that. They're going to be held hostage, so they're going to be able to secure the family, or secure like the Brackens, like to his cause.
Right.
Got to hold them hostage, but so what? It's better than nothing.
Yeah. She definitely criticizes him. Like gives him shit for it.
Big time.
Yeah.
And then we get the comment about him not knowing his mom, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also I think the biggest part of this is when she asks him about Rhaenyra.
Right.
And he basically says that even if they win the war, her people are never going to accept her. They need me basically at the head of the helm. And once I win, like she's welcome to join me. So it's like, bro, what are we doing here? You're creating a third party when things are already bad as it is.
I know.
So you got one dragon. Now fucking the blacks still have however many.
Yeah, he's psycho.
The green's got 2, and then Sunfire's hurt, so 2.5.
Yep.
You're outnumbered everywhere, bro.
Yep.
You got no army,
Good.
aside from the Blackwoods.
Yeah, the Greens have a couple other ones too. They got the youngest brother that we still haven't met. Daron.
That's right. I keep
And
forgetting.
Helena has one.
That's actually what I was talking about. I was talking about
yeah.
Vhagar, hers, which is what, Dreamfire?
Yes.
Dreamfire.
Yep.
And then Sunfire's hurt.
Yep.
And then I forgot about Daron.
Yep. I think it's Tessarion or something.
Some shit like that. They're all near the same fucking thing. But yeah, that's right. They do have a 4th dragon. I forgot about that. But yeah, I thought that was the bigger thing, that Daemon is officially like he's putting in his cap.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking.
I was wrong about that because I thought he got swayed away from it from that first vision that he had with young Rhaenyra when he knocked the crown. I'm like, oh yeah, he was thinking it for a second, but now he knows he's not to do that. But
why do you think you're having all these crazy visions?
I don't just all these guilt dreams, all these things he feels terrible about.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and we get another one later too, another guilt from his dead wife.
Yeah.
Like,
When was the last time you talked to your fucking girls?
yeah.
Which is funny because Baela's talked about him a few times, so you can tell that Baela has like some love for him. You know what I mean?
Right. Or, yeah, some respect at least, or sympathy.
Yeah,
like kind of.
something.
Yeah, sees where he's coming from on some stuff. I don't know.
He is my pa.
Yeah. He is kind of cool.
But yeah, I think that was the most. Yeah, the mom thing was weird because he ate her out.
Yeah.
She already knows about the Blackwood bracket thing.
Yeah.
So this girl, like I said, I'm very interested in her.
Yes, and I thought you should watch it again if you'd missed it. But right when it transitions from Damon talking to her to Simon Strong coming in.
Yep.
She kind of like walks behind Simon Strong.
Yep.
So you did see it.
Yeah, and he gives her a weird look, like.
Yeah, but then she kind of just walks behind, and then it cuts away to Damon for just half a second. It goes back to Simon, and then she's just gone. She never actually leaves the room. I doubt she's crouching behind Simon.
Yeah.
Like she just kind of dissipates from the scene. It's pretty weird.
Huh. I will have to go back.
I don't know if she's.
I do remember you see Simon Strong when
right.
he looks confused.
I know.
He's like.
And he mostly doesn't interact with her in a lot of scenes. But
No,
he has once,
even...
I think, or twice. But a lot of times, Damon's the only one that seems to see her.
Right.
And it's very strange.
I didn't even know that he had acknowledged her existence at all.
I think just in the very first scene that she's in. When
the very first
Damon
one he
comes
doesn't.
on. No,
that's when Damon arrives at Harrenhal and he goes into that room. She walks in at the end, and absolutely nobody acknowledges her existence at all. Yeah. She comes barreling in. They're all on one knee, pledging fealty, and she just walks in. She's standing, and they don't even acknowledge that the door opened, that somebody walked in. Nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember this scene, but I thought I saw somewhere that she had been acknowledged, but I don't have the proof, so.
No, that's entirely possible. I'd have to go back and look at every fucking scene. But.
So I would kind of love that if she's able to just infiltrate his mind whenever.
Yeah, she's not even totally fucking real.
Yeah, she's in the Werewood network
Ooh, I like that
Blood Raven kind of thing.
Yep, yeah, I like that. I love give me all of the Blood Raven, Three-Eyed Raven, all of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm very in.
Is Damon trying to get these dreams too? He's not leaving that Werewood bed,
cursed Werewood bed. From it. Oh yeah, no, he's not running from it.
Every night goes back there, and he must like it a little bit. Or
dude, even the conversations with her, he knows what she is, and he's still very intrigued by them.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. He either likes it or wants to be convinced to stop doing what he's doing.
I think he's just very intrigued.
Yeah, just intrigued.
I think he's intrigued.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
I mean, he knows his family heritage very well. I think he just didn't believe in a lot of that dreamer shit because he had never experienced any of it.
Sure.
And then now he's starting to get some visions of his own. I feel like he's just intrigued, like I said. Bela talks to Lord Corlys, Grandpa, about basically he says that Rhaenys wasn't just your fucking wife. She was a lot of things to a lot of different people. She was a fucking Targaryen fucking dragon rider. Mm-hmm. Then she gives him the badge of Queen of the Hand. So we find out that's officially what's in the box. He's very hesitant at first. He's kind of throws it down. But then Bela kind of talks him into it. And we find out, Bela's ride or die right now. She's all in.
Yeah, she's awesome in this scene.
She's all in. She is. Yeah, she was really good. Good scene for her.
Yeah. Heads off every counter argument that Corlys could have had. Just owns him in every little thing that he says. And
she really does.
He's like, damn, you want to be the heir to my throne?
Yeah, which is a great line here.
Yeah.
What did she say? She's like, I'm fire and
blood, not salt and sea.
Salt and sea.
Salt.
Yeah,
something like that.
That was great.
Yeah, really cool.
That was a really, really good line.
A little sad for Corlys. He doesn't have anybody. But I guess maybe the bastards, they could be cool.
True.
Yeah.
But that's all right, so that's kind of the other thing, though, is he lost his son, his daughter, and his wife. But he also, shuns, his grandchildren at this point.
Right.
Where it's you could acknowledge these people because they're also your family, but he just shuns them away. Even if it, Rhaena, Bela hadn't been, I feel brought up, really.
Yeah.
But he shot down Lucerys, Jacaerys, Rhaena, even if they weren't technically his grandchildren.
Right. Yeah.
Play the role, bro. Play the role.
I don't know. But he seems... They don't really say what his decision is, but it seems like he's accepting at the end of this convo.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. You see him fucking... Let's go. Playing that shit.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Rhaenyra needs. Just someone that everybody else respects above.
Right.
He's the number one most respected in the room, and he's going to have her back.
And can actually give wisdom.
And give advice, yes.
Not fucking just be yo,
from a good place.
Go attack.
Yes.
He's actually probably the most trained combative guy like in the kingdoms right now because they've been at peace for so long.
Right.
But he led that whole thing on the Stepstones, which is really the only combat that they've faced in this time period.
Yep.
So he's like the guy with the most experience, basically, as far as commanding armies and commanding ships and fighting on the ground and all that.
Definitely. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else who's done any of that. Yeah.
Daemon.
Yeah, but Corlys was even doing it while Daemon was doing all his other
Right, he was the one that
shenanigans at Dragonstone.
Right.
That's
Yep.
why he almost died.
Yep.
But yeah, so great advisor for the squad. Hopefully he's over there really quickly.
I'm glad to see him. I would like to see him take on a bigger role in this show because he very much comes and goes so far through the first season and a half. I feel like he has scenes, but he's never like consistently like a part of the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he pops in, he talks to Rhaenys. He pops in, he talks to Daemon. He doesn't like really have like a storyline of his own at all. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, all the best stuff about him is just what people say he used to do or
Right, exactly.
Yep.
So I'd like to see him actually like get his hands dirty and fucking get involved more hands-on.
Yep. Maybe throw that cane down.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
We got a view of him in season 1 in his armor. He looked sick.
He was cool.
Rhaenyra sent Sir Alfred, who's like the biggest useless piece of shit in the fucking Seven Kingdoms. Like that stinks.
Alfred Broom.
To go meet with Daemon. Basically to go ask if he's raising an army for her or for him.
Yeah.
Which he can't believe he's shit done. And Rhaenyra like scoffs at him.
Yeah.
You don't know Daemon.
Yeah.
Which is spot on.
Yep.
That's exactly what he's doing.
And she kind of gets rid of the guy who's giving her the most shit too. Kind of similar to when Lord Mormont sent Alistair Thorne down to King's Landing.
Oh yeah.
Like you're fucking with Jon Snow way too much.
Good call.
I'm gonna give you this like noble task that gets you as far away from here as possible.
Yeah.
Go fuck off with this noble task for a while.
No, that's true. Send them off. I feel like there's a few cases of that. Just get rid of this motherfucker.
Yeah. But it's an honor for me to give this to you, so you better do it.
Yeah.
It's perfect politics, which is the one thing Rhaenyra has been taught how to do.
Yeah. That, like, yeah, exactly. How to maneuver, I feel like, between the families, the map, who holds where, all that kind of shit.
Yep.
Who has good relationships with who owes this person that thing.
Yep. How to negotiate and manipulate and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Which I feel like, again, was a lot of what Cersei was good at.
Very true. Yep, she was always around it, too.
Yep. House Bracken wakes up Daemon in the middle of the night, basically. Sir Simon's the one that does it, but they do it on behalf of him. They held all the women and children hostage, like we said. The Blackwoods had taken revenge. They, burned a bunch of fields, all that shit, septs, all that kind of stuff. But they were doing it with the Targaryen banner. So Bracken has now turned his back on Daemon. He's lost the only army that he basically had. I guess the Blackwoods are gonna support him now. I guess I don't really know.
Yeah, but now they're like the biggest assholes in the kingdom. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, for
they
sure.
Kidnapped babies and burned septs and like I don't know, raided villages. Like I don't know, doing all the stuff that Daemon implied to do. So it is kind of on Daemon. But
True.
But under the flag of the Targaryens is not just the Targaryens, but Rhaenyra's Targaryens.
Without any command, obviously, from him. They're doing it intentionally. Like
Right.
everybody knows.
He's like, oh, I got a free pass from the dragon guy to
for real.
to end this, to do some terrible damage to this 1,000-year blood feud. I'm going to take that ticket.
Yeah.
Which I thought Willem Blackwood was cool for a little bit there, but it's kind of a dick move.
I think he's gonna continue to be a part of this show, right? Though I think he's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't think Damon's gonna be too mad about it. I don't know. We'll see.
I guess we will see. We see fucking Aemon's overlooking the throne, which is an interesting little scene. It was all dark. He was doing that creepy shit. Helena comes in. She says, "Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Was the price worth it? You fucking lit your brother on fire. You fucked him up. Now you're king."
Right. So,
Which I found interesting just because of the things you've already said about them in the books, that they have like a possible relationship.
it was coming from Mushroom, the least reliable source from Fire and Blood, but he suggested that some or all of Aegon and Helena's kids were actually Aemond and Helena's kids.
Who's to say that this mushroom guy is not the most reliable?
He's right about a lot of stuff. I told you some. I think I sent you a quote one time exactly Yeah, it was about the rat catchers. So the guy says, like, I know those tunnels like better than my own cock or something. Yeah. And that's a quote that Mushroom said about the same exact thing.
See, right away I would be like, all right, I trust the Jester. Like, this guy's fucking in there. No one sees him or like acknowledges his existence.
Yeah. He was right about a lot of stuff about like Damon kind of corrupting Rhaenyra and about Rhaenyra and Cole. Like, he was also wrong about a lot too. So, but
was he? Yeah.
Yes, but he likes the craziest version of everything. So he spices it up when he has to. But if it's good enough, he'll let it go.
Kenny Kid syndrome.
Yeah.
We quickly go to Allison. She's overlooking Aegon. He's all fucked up. She leaves, and right as she leaves, he goes, "Mummy." I was like, "Oh man, that's sad. Tough for Aegon."
Yeah, that's brutal.
But Allison actually looks like she cares about him a little bit this episode, which that was new.
Yeah.
But then we go to the closeout scene of the series. The episode. Jace gets back to Dragonstone, and basically Rhaenyra says that she is going stir crazy. He says that we got the twins, it's all good. And then they're talking about how they need more dragons, and Jace comes up with the idea to look through the family tree, basically, and try to find some Targaryen roots, blood that might have, separated off from the last name, and still have the blood and could possibly be dragon riders, because we have these unclean dragons like Vermithor and what was the other one they said? Silverwing, there you go.
Yep.
Who need riders. Maybe we can find one. And right now I was like, that's a crazy idea, but fucking let's do it.
Yeah.
Which is something that I love, and I'm very interested in the storyline, but I wish this should have happened like 2 weeks ago.
I know. Coming into the season, I suggested it could be something that started in first episode, and they kept checking in on the whole season, But they're just going to do a whole montage, it seems like, maybe next week. It's just something trying to claim the dragons or set it up for the end of the season. Hopefully that's not like the finale.
That'd be terrible. That'd be terrible.
The Dragon Riders coming in.
I'd be pissed.
I'll say it does seem like they're slowing it down a lot more than I thought they would.
2, 3, and 5. There's been 5 episodes. 2, 3, and 5 have been fucking snoozy.
It's like covering like half a page of the book, or not that bad, but
yeah, it's crazy.
But it's pretty much all dialogue. And like all these meetings that are described in one sentence in the book,
Yeah.
So
it's
I originally thought it was going to maybe be 3 seasons, but it's starting to look maybe like 4.
I thought it was going to be 4.
Okay.
I was pretty sure it was going to be 4.
Yeah. Well, it's making more sense for sure.
But fuck me, man. Things need to move a little bit. Like I said, if this had happened 2 weeks ago, if this had happened during like that 3rd episode that I really didn't like. Mm-hmm. Which I still hate that one more than this one. Especially after rewatching this one today. This one's still not good, but it was better than that 3rd episode. I liked
this one. But...
Yeah?
I think I might be biased because Fire and Blood is so like missing details that I've wanted to know like how did it happen? I'm even so curious about like what went down, and now that's really all they're doing is just these conversations that they're just telling you about the characters. They're not
flushing out,
not turning the page on Fire and Blood, until the next big event. But it's just telling you what's going on in between the pages, and I don't know. So I'm a little biased in that way, maybe. But
like the Daemon Harrenhal visions on a thing in the books, right?
No, it's just mentioned that he went to Harrenhal, and it didn't seem like Alice Rivers had much effect on him, and he kind of, he does do some of this like rebellion stuff, but we don't know anything about this. Declaring himself king or anything.
But that's what I'm kind of saying is like, what's the point? So like he's dragging his feet. We're doing visions at Harrenhal and showing him eating out his mom so that we can show Rhaenyra like dragging the shit out of her fucking feet. You know what I mean? It's like we can show like I can't believe that we're wasting episodes on this. It's just wild to me. It's crazy.
All right, I hear you. I hopefully you might feel different after the payoffs are all there, and then you can be. Like, oh, I really want to know what was happening through this person's mind when leading up to that, but
I guess. And the things that I actually would want to see more of in these like setup things are things I'm not seeing. Like I would like to see more of the Clubfoot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how is he getting his info? Mm-hmm.
I would like to see the Clubfoot talk to somebody that like isn't Allison or like the king. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how like Littlefinger had like his conversations with the whores?
Mm-hmm.
It's particularly the one from the north that he had a good relationship with.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
Right.
Like where you can see where he's getting some of his information. You can see like how manipulative he can be and what he's actually doing behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would like a couple of scenes like club football like that. I feel like that'd be good. Like there are a thing like I already talked about. I don't need action. There are just things that I would like to see rather than the scene. I cannot see Ray Nala's console fucking.
One more time.
I can't do it. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Like I just can't do it.
Seems like they're gonna move on from that now. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it's just
Like you said, every other episode is her pissed off, staring like it's on.
It's very annoying.
And it's not quite on yet.
But even this episode, I feel like was there had to have been over 10 minutes of Corliss just like grieving, and it's like, all right, we get it. Corliss, he's sad. Rhaenys died, bad, sad.
Yeah.
But it's like there are other things that we can show. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's reasonable.
This episode
valid.
just did not do it for me.
All right.
The ending I liked, and there was like a scene or two in the middle that I thought was funny. Obviously, the Damon thing with his mom got me going, what the fuck? But that wasn't like something I enjoyed. Like I said, I finally found my line, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, this is too much for me. I don't enjoy this.
Yeah.
This is bad.
But like the Hugh Hammer stuff is like a complete like waste of time for you right now, right? Like you're like, what is this? You know,
Completely.
right? So
It's so
that
like,
will have a lot of value later once he does some stuff. Like so,
I guess. I don't know.
I hope it will improve.
I don't know. At least his stuff's been fairly quick too. But it's like, yeah, we get it. You're poor and you're waiting on the money. We got it.
Yeah.
What are we doing with it? We moving? We not moving? What's going on? We being traders? How are we gonna go about this?
That's fair.
But that's pretty much all the scenes from the episode.
Yeah.
The preview for this week doesn't look like anything crazy either. I'm not gonna lie.
It seems like they're pushing for the dragon seeds. I hope something like that happens this episode.
It's a storyline I'm very interested in, so that
Yeah.
would work for me.
Yeah. I hope we
That
get
would
someone
work for
who
me.
claims.
Sorry.
I hope we get some dragons claimed and in combat for the last episode. That's what I'm hoping for.
For the last episode, we're gonna literally leave this season, and we're gonna be like, all right. The Dance of Dragons is on now.
They had the
is
dragon draft.
Exactly what we did at the end of season 1. We're like, all right, this is it, guys. We got our characters out of the way.
There's been some shit that happened. Come on.
And now we're going to do it at the end of
we
season
got
2.
two dragons.
Too. People are going to be like, did you see Rook's Rest? And be like, yeah, that episode was fucking amazing. We got one of them out of 8 because they couldn't even give us 10 this season.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 left. I'm saying I want them to be in action. But you want that, and some more. You want some more deaths and stuff.
I need progression.
Yeah.
Just progress things.
Okay.
Things move forward, not repetitive. Like, where are the Northerners? Can I get a scene of them? Are they moving? Is there anybody that could be related to somebody else that we could tie to these guys? Or are they just a useless number that we keep throwing
That's
out?
what Jace was doing this whole
2,000
time.
Northerners, right. Like, is there going to be, like, a different stock at the helm? Or a new character we're going to introduce? Mm-hmm. Like, is there anything that we're going to do that's not, like, the exact same thing? Because everything feels so repetitive right now.
Okay. Well, I do hear you. I respectfully disagree, but...
Push something.
Yeah.
Push
I wish
something.
you liked it, because I like it way more when you like it.
Oh, man.
1
and 4 have been incredible.
Yeah.
1 and 4 were both
Okay.
phenomenal episodes. Like, really good. I loved them. 2 was whatever. 2 was fine. It was fine. It wasn't what I wanted, but it was fine. 3 was not fucking good.
Oh, no.
And then this one was slightly above that. This one did not do much for me at all.
All right. Well, hopefully they up their game for you, because I want you to love it.
Yeah.
And I think we got a good chance at it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this next episode is some dragon seeds. Dragon gets claimed.
That would be good. That's a storyline I'm interested in.
They teased Damon versus Aemond. I don't think that'll happen maybe right now, but they're teasing
right,
it.
Yeah. You're going to start putting plans and prep for that.
Yeah. But hopefully he says that line in this episode at least. And it's not
Yeah,
from like the finale or something.
That I think we're going to get.
And Alicent's finally talking to Aemond in the trailer too. I don't remember what they're saying, but they're actually having a conversation. This looks like the riot in King's Landing that they've been teasing since the first trailer is finally going to happen. So that's probably Mysaria's plot kind of coming out, right?
I would imagine so.
Yeah. And then, it ends with Rhaenyra and the dragon, and their Dragonstone version of the Dragon Pit with Vermithor coming up.
Yep.
And so
I'm very interested to see who's going to claim that big guy.
I'm not sure what she's doing right there either.
Oh,
she's gonna have a conversation, like just talk to him in High Valyrian, and
you'd have to imagine so. I mean, she's cocky.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to bring out some people for you to choose from, and you need to choose one so we can fight and fuck up.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
They
cool.
obviously read people and shit like that, so they probably know that it's not some war-hungry guy like Daemon and shit.
Right.
She's like, yo, I'm trying to do good things.
Yep, I'm not going to touch you.
Yeah,
I got some Targaryens for you to look through.
Yep. If you want to eat one of them, one of them, do your thing. Just, try not to go crazy.
Yeah, please just pick one. One of these guys. We need you.
We need somebody. Yeah,
We're
gonna need you to fucking. He's like Johnny Drama in that scene where he's kissing all the girls in the fucking modeling industry, just one after the other.
Yeah.
But no, that's a storyline I'm very interested in. So I'd like to see that one progress. That would be good. Like I said, I just need progression. I just can't. I feel like things have been very repetitive, which I don't like.
Yeah. Well, at least there were a ton of scenes. I kind of like. I was like 18 or 20 scenes. So they're bumping all over the place. They weren't like.
They were a big.
They weren't just lingering on one thing you didn't like for too long.
Yeah.
And like I said, almost all of this episode was created for the show, so it's all kind of extra juice. Yep.
Yeah.
So hopefully they get back to turning some pages from Fire and Blood and get through some events. I do hear where you're coming from on that. So
it is tougher too when you have so many less characters than say you did in Game of Thrones, because you're progressing so many storylines. You have the Lannisters, you have Jon Snow, you have Arya, you have Ned, you have this, that. You have so many people that you're moving at once. This show is a lot more compacted. There's not as many people, but it still feels like it's taking the same amount of time. So that's, I feel like, why it's taking, at least in my mind, so long.
Right. And they're all focused on the same conflict.
Right.
There's not like a bunch of cool little side missions and
things need to move faster.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I feel like there's plenty of stuff that could have been easily
gear.
trimmed out and fucking. We could be significantly farther along in the storyline right now. That's not saying I don't want more Thrones, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know.
Well, the last one you hated a lot, 3, paid off with a payoff episode. Hopefully, this other one gets a payoff episode.
Yeah. Like I said, 1 and 4 have been really, really, really good. Those are really good episodes.
Yep. All right, well, let's get back on track. I want 2, 3, and 5 to be the only ones you don't love.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I want to be 5 good ones.
Let's hope so.
All right.
Is there anything else from this episode?
No, I think we're good. I think we are going to see some sort of depiction of Meleys dying in the tapestry next week.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Yep.
Whether it's getting marched through King's Landing, because that's what the historians would see, or if it is some depiction of what happened at Rook's Rest.
I gotcha.
That's something to look out for.
Seeing what? Yeah, right. Almost who's like the one that's seeing the images for the opening intro with the sewing shit.
Yep. And other things I'm looking for are like you're saying, the dagger.
Always.
What the hell Alice Rivers is doing? Is she just like a complete vision most of the time, ghost, like mind reader? I don't know. Or is she just
all shit directly tied to like magical?
Right. So those are some of the cooler things. So. I'm just excited. I know there's a lot good stuff coming. Hope we get some dragons, some deaths.
I need to see what's gonna. I need like Rhaenyra and Daemon to have like a spat. That's what.
Yes, they need to get through their shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's getting old.
Yeah, I need that. I need all these things to be tied together and moved on. But like I said, I think episode 6 next week I'm gonna try to do with another small council roundtable of Minifans. And then we're going to see from there what to do with 7, 8, because I want to do 7, 8, and then a review. So we'll be putting plans in place. But I think next week is going to be another small council roundtable episode.
Cool.
So hopefully we have a lot to discuss. That's going to wrap it up for us here tonight.
I think so, yeah.
All right. Lukey, thanks for coming as always.
Of course, brother.
Thank you, Kirk. And we'll talk to you guys next week with another recap. Happy watching.